Hey folks, Jim here from Tobacco Solutions, and thanks for tuning in. If you've been vaping for any amount of time, you know some of the major brands that are out there that keep consistently putting out some good quality electronic cigarettes and vaporizers. For me, it's always exciting when a new brand presents itself, and it recently happened with the new Wismec, specifically the Wismec Presa. Have you ever heard of Wismec? I never have up until recently, so if this is all new to you, you need to watch this video. So let's start with the unboxing of the Wismec Presa 40W box mod. As you can see down here on the bottom, it's designed in California, but reading through the instruction manual, it shows that it's actually manufactured in China. So designed in California and manufactured in China. I'll go ahead and open up the box, and the first thing you'll see is the box mod itself, the Presa. And Wismec is written next to the USB input there, and Presa is written there in the front. And I've been using this for about 2 weeks, so it's not exactly brand new. Let me go ahead and put this to the side. Take off the first layer of the box, and then you have your instruction manual, which comes in a variety of different languages and pretty self-explanatory. So I'll put that to the side. Finally, you have another little box here. Inside you see a 510 thread adapter here, and you have a USB cable. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over the Wismec Presa itself. So let me give you a backstory on how I came across the Wismec Presa. I was on the ePuff store. I was getting ready to purchase the Aspire Atlantis 2 tank, and there it was sitting there available for selection, the Wismec Presa, a brand that I've never heard of before. But I like the way it looks. It's got a little aerodynamic kind of design to it. It's ergonomic. It looks modern, looks nice, and I felt a little adventurous, so I said, let me go ahead and buy this too. So I bought the Wismec Presa and the Atlantis 2, and I'm not going to go over the Atlantis 2 tank with you. There's a lot of video reviews out there talking about the Atlantis 2, so I'm sure there's something out there that you could find, but I am using it with the Wismec Presa, and it seems to fit perfectly for it. Just to give you an idea of how it vapes, we'll give you an example right now before we actually get into the Wismec Presa itself. As you can see, it vapes pretty good. Alright, so here's the Presa itself, and I'll go over some of the things that you need to know about it that makes this box mod unique. First of all, it is 510 spring loaded, and as you can see, there are some air channels up here. This is the entire switch, so it's not a one button you have to fire. This whole side right here is the firing button, so you can either hold it this way or this way, and you're able to fire it up. So that's a really nice thing. You do have a USB connector right here on the side, so you can actually charge it up and stand it up upright, and that's a nice thing. I hate the ones that are actually on the bottom, so this is a good thing that they did, is putting the USB charging on the side of it so it could stand vertically when you're not using it. Wismec logo right there on the side of it, and then on the other side you do have the Presa logo. Now, as I said about the firing button, it's a pretty big button, so when you put it in your pocket, it's going to fire, and you could actually lock it by using this little switch up here by pushing it to the right. You push it to the right, it no longer fires. So this is the locking mechanism over here. Turn it back off, and now you're able to fire. And over here on the side, if you can see, you have a little button right here and a button right there. And this is basically to adjust your wattage and your voltage. Right now it's set to wattage, as you can see right here. If you wanted to show the voltage, you press the firing button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and now it's showing the voltage. And it will alternate anywhere between 2 volts and 10 volts, and I believe 5 watts to 40 watts. Let me see here. Yeah, 5 watts all the way up to 40 watts. Okay, that's great. Now, I want to show you this OLED screen probably looks pretty familiar to you because it's very similar to that of the eLeaf iStick, maybe just a little bit brighter. But all the indicators are the same locations, same layout, but it's a little bit brighter on the Wismec. So I do like that. It's much brighter, much easier to read. Let me go ahead and turn this off because there's another neat little trick here that you may not be aware of. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn it off. Press these two buttons here on the side, which is the voltage and the wattage regulator. Hold it for 2 seconds, and your OLED screen changes position. It'll flip-flop on you. So depending on how you use it, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you could adjust your screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it back on, and let me turn it back off. Change the screen back again. Okay, now it's back on. I'll go ahead and put the tank on it, and this is the Atlantis 2. Now I'm going to bring the eLeaf 50 watt iStick back into the picture because this is probably the most comparable. The Wismec Presa is a 40 watt. This eLeaf iStick is a 50 watt. And check out the difference in size. Believe it or not, this Wismec weighs about the same as this eLeaf iStick. But I believe it's just one battery, and the battery is not replaceable. It's built into the system, but it looks like it uses one 18650 battery. It looks like that's all that could fit inside there. But big difference, you know. This is a 50 watt, 40 watt, so you're talking about 10 watt difference, but maybe about 3/4 of the size, but weighs about the same. So that's one thing that I noticed that is significant about the Wismec Presa. As far as charging is concerned, it only takes about 2 hours at the most to charge the Wismec Presa, which is really nice. Average about an hour, hour and a half, and one charge will last me, if I would start Monday morning at 6, it'll last me till Tuesday, probably till about 8 p.m. So the battery does last a very long time. The Wismec Presa does have some protective measures. It does have an over temperature protector. If it gets over 70 degrees Celsius, it'll turn off for, I believe, for about 10 seconds. Also, if the firing button is pressed for over 10 seconds, the output will be shut off and the OLED screen will show over 10s. That's what it'll display, over 10s. It does have an atomizer short circuit protection. If the atomizer is short-circuited, then the OLED screen will reflect an atomizer short display towards it. It does have an atomizer low precaution. The screen will reflect atomizer low if the resistance of the atomizer is lower than 0.2 ohms. And the Presa does allow a tank or an atomizer between 0.2 ohms all the way to 5.0 ohm resistance. It does have a low voltage protection, so when your voltage or battery is below 3.3 volts, the OLED screen will first display a power low and then change to a lock to indicate that the battery is locked. And there's also a low power alert that if the battery is lower than 10%, then the power symbol will start flashing on your screen. So it does have some safety features assigned to the Wismec Presa, which is always nice to have. A few more things that I want you to know about the Presa itself. It does have a memory for the voltage and wattage. If you do have your vape set at 36.4 watts, for instance, and you turn your Presa off, when you turn it back on, it'll be set at 36.4 watts. So it does remember your last voltage and wattage setting. If you do find your spot, that your good vape zone, so to speak, on a wattage and voltage setting, you can lock it at that voltage and wattage by simply pressing the two buttons on the side right here and holding it for 2 seconds, and it should lock. And there's the lock symbol right there. And to unlock it, you just do it again. You press them both simultaneously for 2 seconds, and then you unlock it, and then you could adjust your voltage. So what are your thoughts on the Wismec Presa? I've been using this thing for about 2 weeks, so I do have a good idea of what I like about it and some other things about it that make it unique to itself. What I like is the fact that it kind of goes into a cone type of shape where your tank attaches to it. It looks like they put a lot of thought into the design of it. A lot of box mods, the tank is screwed in on one side or the other, leaving this shelf on the other side. And the only thing that shelf is going to do is get it hanged up on something whenever you're walking. I think it's a waste of space. These guys actually thought about it. I do like that. I like the fact that it's got a curved side to it, so it fits comfortably in my hand, whether I'm holding it like this, or if I flip it around and hold it like that. The whole side is a trigger, so if it's late at night and it's dark, I don't have to hunt around for the trigger to take a vape. The whole side is the trigger itself, so it's easy to find, and there's a really nice and quick way to lock the trigger if you decide to put it in your pocket and go for a stroll. I do like the fact that there's a USB connector on the side to the fact to where I can set this down vertically and not have to worry about charging it, because a lot of box mods still have that USB connector on the bottom for some reason, so you have to set it down horizontally in order to charge it. Not with this one. Set it down vertically, which is really nice for the tank itself, and just pick it up and take a vape, and you can vape as you're charging. Really nice thing to have. The only drawback I found with this, and it's not a big one, is that it warms when you take too many vapes. It'll start warming up a little bit. It doesn't get hot, but it does get warm. Also, when you're charging it, it'll also tend to get warm. A little bit warmer than some of the box mods that I've tried before. Now, you could get this Atlantis 2 and the Wismec Presa at ePuff store where I got it, where I bought it. Right now, the Wismec Presa is going for about $45. If you do like it and you want to get one, I urge you first to go to tobaccosolutions.net. I do have an ePuff store 5% coupon that you can use and knock off maybe about $2 and some change from the total price of the Wismec Presa. And I'll leave a link for that on the bottom of this video. Just click that link. It'll take you to our coupon section. Look for the ePuff store. Click that, and you'll take that 2% off by using that coupon code, which I think is a pretty good deal. 43, 42 bucks for this box mod. Really good deal. It gives a great vape. It lasts a long time. Quick to charge. Feels good in the hand. You can't go wrong with that. Thanks for watching, and I do appreciate you checking out these videos. Please subscribe and like us on Facebook.